I'm ready.
We have a heading. Mephisto shelters in the Cathedral of Hatred. Across the Sea of Fire, Astaroth's domain. I'd wager that's why Lilith freed him in Skosglen. That's where we'll find her.
And what then? We don't have the stone.
Enough, Donan!
Then it's up to me to stop her. Right?
I mean, yeah. See, at least Donan is bringing up an important point here, but Loreth is like, it doesn't matter. Don't bring it up. It's like he doesn't want us to linger on his mistake of showing it to Inarius.
Non-stop. Can you drop it for once?
It's not about me hounding you. It's...
Enough! You're both so smart usually.
Usually.
Not today. Yes, the stone is gone. Instead of arguing, let's do something about it. If Inarius has it, let's take it back.
It is the only way to guarantee Lilith's defeat.
No, not Lilith. You're all wrong about that. The stone should be saved for Mephisto, her maker. The prime evil. You know his powers of manipulation. His hatred has already poisoned us. Even Lilith fears him. Why don't you?
Are you done?
I am now. Think on what I've said, all right?
The thing is, we've tried that before. Zankakur. Like, we did try that. And we know what happened to the Zakarum. I'm just saying, the Soul Stones are not exactly the best option. I mean, the Black Soul Stone could have been the best one, because we didn't have to, like, keep it with somebody. Remember, Tyrael had set it up where the Black Soul Stone could literally just be kept, like, deep underground. And it probably would have worked had it not been for Malthael taking it for himself. But the individual Soul Stones, we saw what happened to the hosts. I'm just saying, this is not exactly the best option. It might be the best we have available, but that doesn't necessarily make it the best possible thing we could do about this. Now, again, I brought this up earlier, though, whether or not, and she is bringing this up, whether or not we should be using the Soul Stone on Lilith or on Mephisto. Which is the better option? I guess you could call it which is the worst of the two evils? Possibly. More blood petals.
I can sense your fear, Father.
Well, what did you see?
I want to remind you guys that before we had Vessel of Hatred come out, this gate was the main menu. Lilith, she hungers for her father's power.
Whether we use you or the stone, we have to stop her. We follow her into hatred itself. It will sour our hearts even more, turn us against each other. Let's remember why we're here. Together.
Alright. Are you guys ready to head back into the burning hells? I mean, our character hasn't been here before, but we have. We get to go into hell pretty much every Diablo game. Actually, hold on. We did that in Diablo 2. Did we ever do that in Diablo 3? I don't think we did. We got to go to the high heavens in Diablo 3, but I don't think we ever actually... We went to Pandemonium. But I guess we didn't go to the burning hells in Diablo 3. I mean, unless you count the area we went into in Mount Arreat to go face Asmodan, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if I would count that. Now, when we followed Diablo into hell in Diablo 2, yes, that absolutely is the thing.
Everything feels wrong here. The air, the ground at my feet.
Mortals were not meant to tread this realm.
The sooner we can find Lilith and get out, the better.
Don't you just love the background in here? Like those things there? Yeah. I kind of saw these things. I will say this. I did see these things when we were pursuing Asmodan and Mount Arreat. So maybe that was like a realm of hell that we went into. By the way, I do want to say, I'll let you guys know, the cinematic that's coming up, you guys know the one. I'm sure you've seen it at this point. The big cinematic that plays during this act. I have had it crash on me at least twice. So there is a chance that it may crash again, in which case I'm probably going to have to go to YouTube and pull up the cinematic and just play it for you guys from YouTube. Because, unfortunately, when it crashes during the cinematic, it doesn't put me before, so we can try again. It puts me after the cinematic. So I can't just replay it again here in the game. If this was Diablo 3, I could, because they actually give you a section in the menu to play the cinematics on the menu. They don't offer that here. There's nowhere here where it's like, hey, you can watch the cinematics of the game. Nope. It's nowhere to be found. Nowhere at all. So, I'm just giving you that heads up. I'm going to see if I can just play it from the game, but unfortunately my PC, I will admit, it's not the best PC around. I think this game really makes it clear that I have to at some point upgrade my machine because, well, if it's going to be just straight up crashing the game during these cinematics I want to show, then that's probably a clear sign that, yeah, I'm going to have to upgrade my machine at some point. But if it does crash, I'm just going to try and find the cinematic, because I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, a version that is not, like, with any commentary or anything that I can show without anything, like, showing that's from somewhere else. If there is, oh well, but hopefully I won't have to deal with that and it'll actually play. It actually has played to a completion one of the 3 times that I breached it doing the campaign with my characters. In case you're wondering, I have beaten the campaign on my Necromancer, my Barbarian, and my Spiritborn. The first time I did this...
Was ambushed. The others must have forged ahead.
Oh, for some reason Lorath's voice line didn't play there. It crashed the first time I did this on my Barbarian. When I went through here, my Necromancer was fine, but then when I did this again recently on my Spiritborn, it crashed. Or rather, it froze. Like, the screen just froze at a certain point in the cinematic, in which case I basically had to try to come up with a way to fix it, or even turn the game off to try and, like, get it unfrozen on my screen. It was weird. So fingers crossed it'll actually play well, but there is a good chance it may not, because I don't have the best machine around that can handle these top-notch quality cinematics, which is what this is going to be. And I will be praising this cinematic a lot because, well, I mean, Blizzard has a history of amazing high-quality cinematics, but this upcoming cinematic
Must remain.
No, his mind is shattered. For some reason, some of the voice acting is not playing. That's not a good sign. If not everything is functioning right, that tells me that there's a chance that the game may crash. Now, I will say that right now it just feels like the game is in a very odd, extra buggy stage. Like, I know it's only been a little bit of time since the expansion came out, but still, it feels like they are a little behind on trying to get some of these bugs fixed. The fact that I encountered a bug that was reported months ago, I'm talking about the bug we saw with Orton not dying during the Linden questline, and it was still there, and I had to find a workaround to get us past that, shows that this team at Blizzard is pretty behind on trying to fix all the bugs that are in this game. Diablo 4 is in a very, very buggy condition these days, and unfortunately they just don't seem to have that under control right now. Like, it seems like they're trying to get some of the bugs fixed, but quite a few still remain. Now, I'm sure they're trying to work on other things and not just fixing bugs right now when it comes to their priority list, but still, we would prefer...
Sins beget sins as men beget men. Terror begets hate as hate begets destruction. Destruction begets terror as terror begets hate as hate begets destruction.
Well... almost started to sound like Yoda there. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Hellfire. To keep us out? Or to keep someone in?
We'll know soon. Stand back, and I'll dispel the flames. Tani Subdailekit. Demons!
Help us fight them off!
What a shock. It looks like the army of the cathedral didn't do so well. Notice how many of them are here just straight up dead and butchered. Not to mention some of the other horrifying looking corpses that are moving around here, because this is hell. We have to make everything look incredibly horrible. Now, if you're wondering, what happened here? How did this happen to all of them? Well, just wait for the cinematic and you'll see. And I'm just giving you guys a heads up for those of you who complain about me talking too much. I will want to actually talk a bit about the cinematic afterwards, so...
The proper battle was fought.
They didn't stand a chance.
Fodder for a broken angel's ambitions. Keep moving.
Prava. And look what she has.
It's Prava. Even she didn't survive this.
There's something underneath her. I know that glow. It's the Soul Stone.
The battle is not over. The father is hunting Lilith.
Sorry, I'm trying to get a good position so I'm not standing in the way. And you guys can see everything here. Where is Inarius?
In the spire. Across this infernal wasteland. Salvation is coming.
Not for these knights you led to hell. And not for you either. Brother. You're just a tool of someone who doesn't give a damn about any of us. And a thief. You had the stone the whole time we were helping you in Chaldeum, didn't you?
Inarius entrusted it to me, and... Wait. You took it? Insolent heretic! Servants of darkness! You will all be damned!
Leave her. She's poisoned with hatred.
Is she the only one? Remember why we're here. What we're fighting against.
What do you propose?
I have a tonic. A little something to numb the pain and get her moving. Drink up, Prava. If you're wise, you'll get back to Chaldeum while you still have a chance.
Of course, she called us a heretic. That's right. Get out of here, Prava. How are you holding up, Neyril?
I keep seeing myself standing over Lilith, stabbing her. I can't seem to push the thought away. The hatred here is trying to worm its way into my mind.
You in control of yourself now, Lorath?
Anger got the better of me there. My head's clear now, though.
Is there any hope of that Inarius could find Lilith?
He was imprisoned here for millennia. He knows the terrain better than any of us.
Not sure if him being a prisoner makes him an expert on the terrain, but okay. Should we press on?
Yes, but keep your guard up. The cathedral is in shambles. We're on our own now. Stick together. And find that spire Prava spoke of.
What I'm probably going to do, because we have a ways to go before we actually get to that cinematic I'm talking about. We're probably going to go through those parts. And then before we play the cinematic, I'll cut it off, and then we'll see if we can get to play in the beginning of the next video. And of course, because this is hell, we're going to get a big amount of enemies, which... I mean, we should. This is hell. We should absolutely be getting a ton of enemies to face here. Again, this was relatively easy when I did this on my Necromancer. Because my minions were just running around killing everything. It's like, oh yeah, Forces of Hell, guess what? You're no match for my undead army. Wait, where are you guys? Oh, you're up here. They're getting bombarded. It's okay, guys. I'll take care of this.
The balance of power in hell will be overturned. This is not over.
Is that so?
I will draw out your suffering.
Come on, guys.
I'm surprised you still remember the words to the bulwark.
I'm the one who taught you that spell.
Tani subtile kittos.
More of this damn hellfire.
I'll clear the way. Tani subtile kittos.
Heed my call, Karu.
Demon that destroys the bridge. She's the one who's been hunting us.
Lilith still has some allies in hell.
Not for long. Let's find another route.
Notice how many knights they've already put on display around the place. Oh, this is definitely a boss arena.
All hail Lilith, Queen of Hatred.
Under the barrier, quickly! Sulan.
Nithemon.
Ninsa.
Take cover! Sulan.
I like how she is basically a tease for the upcoming Blood Maiden fight in Helltides. That's essentially what she's doing right now.
Nithemon.
This is still a pretty big area here, guys.
You know, you're not half bad at taking charge, Don. I can see why you were that big man in Skosglan.
Was that a compliment? Someone, write this down. Memorialize the moment.
It's not like I haven't given you one before. There was, you know, that other time.
Oh, yes. The ground is shifting.
Prepare yourselves.
Hello, Ashava. Say hello to one of the world bosses in this game. For those you don't know, this was the world boss that you got to face against in the server slam that they did before this game came out. Needless to say, I remember this boss being quite a hassle. She's a little easier to take down these days, even as a world boss, but yeah, in the server slam, I remember us literally spending the entire timer trying to take her down, because, back then, when you were limited to what you could do in the server slam, or it was either the server slam or the beta. It was either one. And you got a special mount trophy for it. But yeah, I remember doing that and... whoa.
Oh dear.
Lorath, are you...
Just catching my breath. I see the spire up ahead. Come on.
So yeah, now we are going to be heading to the area where... yeah, take note of this place. You're about to see it in that cinematic I was referring to. And then I'll try to point out, because obviously when you see these cinematics, you try and see if they, like, recreated in the game what you see in the cinematic, so...
Any sign of Lilith? Or Inarius?
Lilith was here. I see the blood petals.
Alright, I'm going to cut it off here. When we return, we will be watching one of the greatest cinematics Blizzard has ever made. Stay tuned.